Hey there, creepy peeps. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome back. If you are returning, today is another horror movie mini review episode. Just like the past couple of months, these are kind of like quick fire mini horror movie reviews that my patrons have requested that I watch and review as per one of their perks. So if you want to check out all the other perks you can get for supporting the channel, the link for my Patreon is in the description. It's always in the description. So let's get on with this. So the first movie I'm going to talk about was requested by Kevin, and it was The Funhouse. Directed by Tobe Hooper, The Funhouse follows 4 teens who decide to secretly stay the night in the funhouse at a carnival, but they are being stalked by a deformed man in a Frankenstein mask. Okay, I just have to make sure of this. Is it just me, or does this movie feel a whole lot like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I know that the same person directed it, and that's possibly why it feels so similar, but I feel like there's a lot of similarities in the movie for sure. Like, I mean, Tobe Hooper's totally allowed to riff off his own movies. Like, it's not like he was like plagiarizing anybody else's work. Like, but I feel like the family that run the funhouse or that work in the carnival have the same kind of like backwoods hick sort of feel to them. Like, you know what I mean? Just like in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like they have the same sort of feel, and then we have a deformed man boy in a mask. Like, literally, come on, like, he's Leatherface. He's Leatherface. He's just Frankenstein face in this movie. And the biggest difference though is that like the man behind the mask is actually an alien, and I'm standing by that it's an alien, because you cannot look at that face and tell me that that's just a deformed human face. No way. Other than that, it is a solid slasher. Obviously, I do like the carnival setting because I feel like there are a lot of things having to do with like the carnival and the circus that are inherently creepy and spooky and kind of like sinister. So it's definitely a common setting in a lot of horror movies or horror novels, is like a carnival or a circus. I wasn't the biggest fan of the characters though. Like Amy obviously is our protagonist, so she has a bit more depth to her than any of the other characters, but her friends fucking suck, seriously. Like, that was possibly done on purpose, so maybe that you're cheering for them when they finally get killed, but man, did I hate them. And then I didn't really understand the purpose of Amy's little brother in the movie. Like, I kind of thought the movie was going to be about him, honestly, because the movie kind of starts with him scaring his sister in the shower, like, but I don't understand like the purpose of it other than to have a little like homage scene to Halloween and then to Psycho in the beginning there. And then he follows her to the carnival. So again, I'm thinking, okay, maybe he'll follow her into the funhouse and he gets stuck in there too. Nope. He just watches the funhouse the whole evening and realizes that they haven't come out. And then later on, his parents come to pick him up, and he looks at the funhouse like he wants to say something, but then he remembers his sister saying she was going to get him back for scaring her. So he's thinking it's a trick and doesn't say anything. And then it just like, I don't know, like I just didn't understand his purpose in the movie. I feel like you could have just had the whole movie without him in it and you wouldn't have lost anything there. Overall, it was all right. Not my favorite. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. Next request comes from Ben, and he asked that I watch We Are Still Here. Directed by Ted Gagan, We Are Still Here follows the couple relocating after the death of their son, only to find out their new house is haunted by an evil force. I did actually see this movie before. I saw it forever ago with the intention of reviewing it, but other movies started, I don't remember exactly when I watched this, but at the time a whole bunch of other movies had come out that I really wanted to watch and review instead. So I kept this one on the back burner for a little while, and then it just kept getting pushed back to the back burner so many times that I just gave up on making a dedicated video for it. So I don't have a dedicated review of this movie, but I have seen it before. So rewatching it, I was reminded how much I did like the haunted house aspect of it. It's a little bit of a twist on a haunted house. sort of movie, and I like it. And it is a slow burn, more of a slow burn kind of movie with a decent payoff, so it doesn't just fizzle out into nothing. Do you like the ending? I'm not going to give away what happens because as this is a slow burn, you have quite a nice twist, kind of explosive ending, so I don't want to give anything away, but I like it. The ending's a little bit like quirky and weird, but in like a nice way. Does that make sense? There's also a really good amount of gore in the movie, especially towards the end, and Barbara Crampton is in it, so I feel like you guys really don't have an excuse to not watch this movie. I know you guys love Barbara Crampton. Every time I review a movie with her in it, not all of the comments, but a lot of the comments are like, Barbara Crampton. I don't mean that in a bad way. I love Barbara, but you guys should watch this movie if you haven't already. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Next one I'm going to talk about is Jim Haunted Asylum, which was requested of me to review by Scuba Steve, directed by Jung Boom Shik. Jim Haunted Asylum follows the crew of a horror web series who travel to an abandoned asylum for their next episode, but they get much more than they expected in the haunted building. Now this one I have seen before, and I did a whole video reviewing it, so it'll be linked up here in the cards if you want to check that out. If you don't feel like checking that out, I'm still going to give you a nice little rundown because I did rewatch the movie because I actually quite enjoyed this one. It's kind of really the only found footage horror movie that I've seen that 100% covers their tracks on the whole, well, why are they still filming thing? Because that question always comes up in every single found footage horror movie that I watch, and I'm not the only one. I feel like, you know, when you're watching a found footage horror movie, that's a question you're gonna ask at some point when things get too crazy, too scary, too messed up. The question always has to be asked, why are they still filming? Any normal person would stop filming. And just in short, they solve this right at the beginning of the movie when they're getting ready to go into the asylum. They strap the cameras to the characters, like kind of like Scariest Places on Earth. It's always filming, but you don't have to hold it, and so it's always recording, and you don't. That's your answer to the question, why are they still filming? They're not even concerned at this point. It's just strapped to them. It's like the perfect solution to that. So that makes it a super effective found footage horror movie because you get all the scariness and realism of it being found footage without the plot hole of any normal person would have dropped the camera and run at this point. Still effectively creepy. This fucking face still haunts my nightmares. So thanks Scuba Steve for making me rewatch this and having to see that face again because it freaks me the fuck out. I give this one a 4 out of 5 still. And then finally, Miko, aka Muddy Called Madhouse here on YouTube, I'll link her channel in the description, requested that I watch Happy Sugar Life, which is actually an anime series that follows a high school girl who falls in love with a young girl and holds her captive while the girl's brother searches for her. So I've never actually had anybody request a full series of me, not in this sense. For like try an episode, sure, but not like this. So I just treated it like a try an episode. The episodes are a little bit shorter, so I watched the first 3 because they were only like 23 minutes long each. So I watched the first 3 episodes just to give you my, just like a try an episode video, just give you my thoughts on what I have seen. So basically, so much fucked up shit happens just in the first 3 episodes. Like, I can only imagine how the rest of the series goes. Like, my God. I think it's a thing, though, in anime and manga. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, or will let me know what it is. It's a thing, though, to have like this like cutesy kind of schoolgirl character be like actually psychotic. Like that's a thing. It's called something, and I just can't think of what it is, but it's a thing, right? Like, is that what this show is? It's like both ends of the spectrum. It's like it has like its moments where it's like cutesy anime girl, and then she's like a psychotic like serial murderer or something. If that's a thing, that's what this thing is. It has to be. I don't know if it's my thing per se, but it is included on Prime, so if you have a Prime membership, you can watch the whole first season. As far as I know, they haven't gone into a second season, but You can watch the whole series for free. I think it's like 10 or 12 episodes. So most likely I'll finish it just because it is free for me to watch. I didn't have to pay for the show or anything. Just believe me when I say it is very disturbing. It does not ease into it. From the get-go, it's disturbing. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 so far. So those are all the ones I had to review for you today. If you want a guaranteed review of a movie, you can check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description, and just join at the top level and you can request a movie of me to review in one of these videos. Don't know why I'm talking like this. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!
This video is brought to you by all these lovely creepy patron peeps that you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link that is in the description of this video. No pressure, but it's there if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye!